Welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus. I'm Chief Meteorologist Dean Wysocki, along with our wonderful, talented Ag Director, Bridget Riedel, and Junior Meteorologist, Justin Storm.
Junior Meteorologist.
Indeed.
That's interesting.
He got demoted today.
Okay.
Yeah, he's upset.
Oh, that's too bad.
I pretended to turn his microphone on. He started doing the whole intro, and he just looked at me, and I was laughing.
It's Friday Eve,
Yeah,
folks.
he's been on
Friday Eve. He's on lack of sleep again. His little one left. It kept him up, I guess, all night. At least that's the excuse he's using.
Justin had a lack of sleep. What's your excuse, Dean? You've been sending me all sorts of snotty little messages this morning. I will get you back.
I just want to make sure.
So you know.
I just want to make sure everything's on the up and up. That's all.
Wait. I got this one.
Just gonna send it.
Just always remember this. When you work with the female, she remembers everything. I get you deadlines. I set up the guests. I make sure we got all the stuff that we need done.
I don't know why I have to second guess you.
Just like it's right. Just like with your wife, if you make her mad, I won't forget.
Oh,
either.
she already left him.
There you go.
Wow.
Boom.
You are skating
That
on
hurt. Boy, I'm done.
Thanks.
I don't need to say more.
Thanks for opening up that there, Bridget. All righty.
What a great way to start a show off.
Oh, man. Well, we got some high clouds through the area. Are those high clouds or chemtrails this afternoon?
I don't know.
I think they're high clouds.
I think it's mostly, what would that be? Dihydrogen bioxide? I think that's what that is.
Is that what they're spraying today?
Yeah, that's water.
Okay. So just some high clouds, in the area today. Temperatures in the 70s across the central southern valley. So get out and enjoy another great day today. A little bit of a breeze out of the north, about 10 to 20. But enjoy today. Tomorrow we'll start to see the clouds increase, and then it looks like a rainy weekend. In fact, we're getting signs of half inch to some spots, maybe up to an inch of rain over the weekend, both Saturday and Sunday.
There we go. I need something to perk my lawn up. I got to go look at sprinklers today after I get done working, so that way I can start watering my yard. You live in an apartment in a townhouse long enough, and you forget about the little things about being a homeowner. Mm-hmm. And one of those is keeping your yard nice. Speaking of that, you don't have to, but I gotta have the nicest lawn on the block. I have to. It's like an initiation into dadhood is having a perfect yard and the white sneakers with grass stains on them.
Good luck.
And that opens up a question. It's not ag or weather related, but I want a little help from the listeners out there. I'm shopping for dishwashers right now. If you have a dishwasher, you've had it for a long time, you're really happy with it. Or maybe if you're not happy with it, tell me what brand to look at or which brand to stay away from. 701-293-9000 is the studio line. That's the Red Wing Shoes hotline to reach us here at Weather and Ag in Focus.
I got Frigidaire. I like mine.
You like Frigidaire?
Mm-hmm. It does well.
How long you had it for?
I don't know how long it's been in the house, but I've had it.
You just bought your house.
I've had it for 2.5 years, and it's never given me a problem.
Dishes come out nice?
Yeah, well, depending on what detergent you use.
Okay, so that plays a big role.
I think it does, yeah. And make sure
you don't cheap out on that stuff.
No, and you've got to clean out the jets too. Make sure to keep those clean because the water here in Fargo, at least in my place, it's pretty hard, and so you get the hard water deposits to kind of clog up some of those nozzles. So, go ahead, Bridge. Did we lose her?
I think we might have just lost Bridget. It looked like she was about to talk, and then it went silent. And now she's frozen for those watching on our live stream.
Make sure that you clean out your filters.
There she is.
You got to clean the filters out because stuff gets crammed in there.
Yeah. Yep, she's right. It does.
Definitely do.
But I mean, just don't go with the cheapest. That's usually
You don't. There's certain things you don't want to cheap out on, and one of them is grass seed, home appliances, and tech stuff.
Grass seed.
You don't buy cheap grass seed. That stuff don't come up. It's not good.
What's cheap grass seed? I don't
know. The cheaper out of whatever you're buying.
Really?
I mean, if you got a $30 bag and a $10 bag, you probably shouldn't be buying the $10 bag.
Probably not. No. Or just have somebody do it for you.
That's too much money.
Come and aerate the lawn. Have them seed it for you. Fertilize
my backyard neighbor actually has he's got a roller and he has a thatcher and aerator. He said he was going to let me borrow it, which is pretty cool.
Use that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, again, that phone number is 701-293-9000 for the Red Wing shoes. If you got a good dishwasher brand that you're just really happy with, dishes come out perfect all the time. You've had it for many years. Looking for a new dishwasher. I'm doing dishwasher shopping, and man, is that a headache. It's like brand new TVs. You got OLED, QLED, Neo LED, Crystal HD. What the heck's the difference?
Or you could just hand wash it in the sink.
No.
That's the old-fashioned way, buddy.
No.
Heaven forbid. Heaven forbid.
Yeah. So,
how about now you got something to do over the weekend, since we're going to have rain over the weekend throughout the entire area. So, if you have any this is back-to-back kind of bad weekends in the area, and boy, oh boy, I wish we could time this out a little better. That's why, encourage you to get out today. Beautiful day today. Yesterday was the first day. That was the warmest day so far this spring, and the warmest we've seen in 183 days, was it?
Well, I don't know if it's 183 on the warmest day we've seen, but it's 183 days since we last hit 70. I think it's like 190. I mean, we had 79.
Yeah,
79 degrees. Actually, I'm going to look that up right now while we're
not that warm,
chatting away.
Not that warm today, but as we said, rain over the weekend, temperatures falling back into the 60s, which still isn't bad, pretty close to normal. And then next week, kind of an unsettled weather pattern. This goes right along with the LRC, where we'll have a day-to-day chance for at least light showers. It's not going to rain every day, all day, but at least a few scattered showers. I think we're going to see a dry day and a half, but it's a little too far out to kind of pinpoint when that would be. It could be early in the week before another storm rolls in here towards the middle and end of next week, with southerly winds increasing. So we'll keep an eye on that. It's very well that the storm this weekend we will see next week may take a southern track. That's kind of been the theme all winter and early spring here, so we'll keep an eye on that. But it definitely does have a potential, and if we don't see rain out of it, areas just to our south could see some stronger thunderstorms as we head towards the end of next week. But overall, we're finally seeing temperatures return to where they should be this time of the year. That is in the 60s, and we'll continue to see temperatures at or above normal all the way through next week, it looks like, on average.
That's going to be really nice. Hey, I was just doing a little looking. Let's see what month this is. That's August. We got to go back one more. We haven't hit 79 degrees from the latest I've seen so far is prior of October 4th.
Wow.
So that means it's probably 220.
It's been a while.
That's been a long
That's why it felt so good yesterday. It was a little breezy, but it was a great.
September 19th was our last day that was warmer than yesterday.
Whew. Man. Yeah, it's been a long time. So if you think it's been a long winter and a long spring, you are absolutely spot on. But other than that, we've got pretty quiet weather out, up until the weekend. So again, get out and enjoy it. And do we have Bridget back yet?
She's back, yeah.
She is back. Okay. Now, what were you saying before you cut out there, Bridget?
Dishes. It's not like you guys actually wash dishes and clean. Just get some paper plates. It'll be fine. Not a big deal.
That would work out well, too.
I'm sure his wife will love that.
Yeah.
Because there is some work being done where currently, if you wanted to, you could buy plastics that are based on corn, right? They're corn plastic. A plastic spoon will disintegrate in about 10 years in a landfill versus the long term of a petroleum-based spoon. But now there's work being done where, all those pretty sugar designs on the baking shows, they're taking that concept, using that sugar, and making it into dishes. And they have like a seal on them so that unless you crack them, break them, or shred them, they won't melt down. And when they do, you can run them underwater and they'll literally disappear, kind of like the packing peanuts that are cornstarch based. If you run those underwater, they'll disappear too. So maybe your dishes will be made of sugar soon.
Sounds sweet.
I bet it will be.
On here. It's somewhere in
Don't
there.
even bother.
Hey, Bridget. What can you tell me about CRISP technology and the chances of that cutting livestock methane?
So CRISPR, we talked about this a couple weeks ago. CRISPR is kind of like a little pair of molecular scissors that you can use within DNA to make modifications to the DNA structure and code in a living organism. And there are some researchers who are suggesting using CRISPR in order to help cows emit less or no methane, so that literally you're fixing it in their genetic code so that they wouldn't produce it, which I just want to reiterate, livestock is only 4% of all greenhouse gas emissions, and the methane they produce is the shortest living in the atmosphere at only about 9 years versus CO2, which would last more like 9 or 12, one of the two. I don't remember which one it was offhand, but we could maybe be doing that genetically to our cattle. Think about that.
That kind of goes along with the lines of, what was it, that research group that was putting simulated kangaroo poop in the stomach of a cow, and it wasn't releasing methane gas. Instead, it was amino acid, or
it was an amino acid that was helping them build protein for more muscle, which equates to more beef off each animal.
Science. That's something cool, I'll tell you that.
Somebody also figured out if you feed cattle seaweed extract, it lowers their methane emissions. Who has to go get the seaweed and feed it to the cows and then measure that?
Science.
I don't understand.
And we've got a special guest coming up here next segment, Bridget.
We do. We're going to talk with Catherine Tyler. She is with Rural Leadership North Dakota. What might that program be? Well, we're going to find out. There's been a lot of folks who've participated in it, and I think that the applications are currently open. So let's find out what it's going to do, who can apply, and more details when we rejoin with Catherine Taylor right after this.
Here's a light beer new to the U.S. this year, and one I think you're going to like. It's from Modelo, and some say it's the gold standard of light beer, called Modelo Oro. You know, some light beers just kind of taste half there. Modelo Oro is filled with flavor. And Modelo Oro, only 90 calories, 3 grams of carbs, has a crisp, clean finish, because drinking light beer shouldn't be a sacrifice, right? The gold standard of light beer, Modelo Oro. New to the U.S. this year and available at your local liquor stores and proudly distributed by Beverage Wholesalers.
It's spring again, and that foundation crack, that seeping water, that bowing wall is still there. But it's not too late. At Precision Concrete Cutters, Ramjack North, we've got you covered.
Don't let those problems continue through another spring. Your complete foundation experts are here to help. Call 701-280-7038. That's 7038. Or for a free estimate and to learn more, go to pccnd.com. That's pccnd.com.
Now is the perfect time to upgrade your kitchen with new appliances from Regals. Get up to $2,000 back on select GE Profile appliances now through June 1st, featuring the latest smart home technology, providing a simpler and smarter cooking and cleaning experience. Smart technology meets unbeatable prices, plus free delivery and free recycling of your old appliances. Find out why for over 75 years Regals has delivered value. Regals, 609 Main Avenue, Moorhead.
What do eyewear and weather have in common? Join us for the Aspire Optical Eye on the Sky weekly weather forecast to find out. Each Tuesday morning, Dean Wysocki, Justin Storm, and myself, Ashley Freeborn, owner of Aspire Optical, will bring you the 7-day forecast.
You never know where we'll be or how it will be presented, but we promise to bring you the most accurate forecast this side of the Red River.
And learn how you can save big on eyewear from Aspire Optical.
Watch the Aspire Optical Eye on the Sky weekly weather forecast on our Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter pages.
Trust us, this is weather and eyewear like you've never seen.
Join us on Tuesday at 10:06 a.m. when we bring you the Luther Family Ford Nonprofit of the Week on the Coffee Club. This is one of the most special things we do to honor and showcase our local nonprofits because they are the lifeblood of keeping our communities safe, fed, housed, educated, and more. Join us at 10:06 a.m. every Tuesday when we bring you another Luther Family Ford Nonprofit of the Week on WDAY's The Coffee Club.
Old Man Winter's moving on out, and it's time to put a spring back in your step. Hi, Teresa here from the local Red Wings shoe store, and I'm here to tell you that Red Wings are not only for hardworking individuals. We've got footwear for every occasion, and here at Red Wings Shoes, we have partnered with Polymental and Superfeet to offer 3D printed orthotics. So stop on in and check it out for yourself at 3003 Main Avenue in Fargo. Red Wings Shoes for ultimate durability.
Inflation has pushed up the cost of just about everything, which means if you bought life insurance a few years ago, it might not be enough to protect your family today. Now is the time to get the insurance you need at a price you can afford. In a hurry? Don't worry. Call Select Quote now and get up to $2 million in instant, affordable, same-day coverage with no medical exam. That's right. You can get up to $2 million in instant, affordable, same-day coverage with no medical exam in under an hour.
Call Select Quote at 1-800-613-8990. That's 1-800-613-8990. Or go to SelectQuote.com now and get up to $2 million in instant, affordable, same-day coverage with no medical exam. That's 1-800-613-8990. Or go to SelectQuote.com now. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercial.
Welcome back to WDAY Weather and Ag in Focus. Thanks for being here. I happen to be our Ag Director, Bridget Riedel, along with our meteorologist, Dean Wysocki, who's the chief, and what'd you say, junior meteorologist today?
It is junior today.
Yep.
Junior today. Okay, got it. Well, it is a good day to join us because we're going to be visiting with Catherine Tyler. She is, in fact, the leader of, or executive director maybe, of the Rural Leadership North Dakota. So, Catherine, hello, and what is this program?
Hello, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. RLND is Rural Leadership North Dakota. It's a program that's been around for about 20 years, and we really are striving to promote leadership within rural communities, and how can we strengthen and help those rural communities grow leadership opportunities.
How do you do that? How do you find people to be a part of this program, and what types of leadership opportunities do they take back with what they do?
Yeah, so we do it with an an intensive approach. It's an 18-month program, and within those 18 months, we undergo 10 different seminars. 7 of those seminars are in-state seminars where we travel around to different locations to do some in-depth look at either the community or economic development that's happening in those areas, along with some skill development, so a little bit of personal skill development within those seminars. We do one regional seminar that goes to Minneapolis to look at the cooperative leadership structure. And we do a national seminar, a national study tour that goes, of course, to Washington, D.C. to talk about federal policy and what that does for rural communities. And then we also do an international seminar in which we go out of the country to explore how agricultural and rural policy and community development is happening in a different country. We're looking for people from all over. So we have people who are producers, we have people who are bankers, educators, agribusiness people, all sorts of different participants from past classes have joined us to really focus on how they can help grow and strengthen North Dakota.
So, what are some examples of projects people have taken from this and taken back out into their communities?
Yeah, so every class participant must do a project, a local project, which has created some really great opportunities in local areas. Businesses have been started. We have built new playgrounds. We have converted a historic building into a community space for community meetings. All sorts of different things have happened in local communities, and our alumni continue to grow projects. So our alumni association just helped fund a grant to a rural leadership North Dakota alumni over in Beach to help with their park, their city park, to get benches and new things built for their park. So our alumni continue to work within those communities to do that. Our current class, which is class 9, started back in 2019 and took a short hiatus due to COVID, and so they're just finishing up. And those class participants have once created a garden, a sensory garden. Another one did a walk, a run and a walk to raise awareness for Earth Day and Agricultural Day. So we have a wide variety of projects. Really, it's about what are our class participants passionate about or see a need for in their communities. And so we try to support them in those efforts in order to make sure that our local communities are seeing the benefit as well.
And Katie, I'm sure you have a lot of success stories that have come out of your program. Is there any one or two in particular that stand out to you?
Oh man, I can't pick just one. That's not fair. Oh my goodness. That's unfair. I don't know that I could pick just one of the. I mean, we have some amazing alumni who have really done some really great things.
Right.
A lot of them. We have several who are current. They're serving in our state legislature, which is an amazing an accomplishment. Of course, we believe that we need strong leadership among all government levels. We have county commissioners. We have people who are on school boards. We have people who are serving on even local township boards. Like all those things to me are so important. The makeup of the alumni is truly impressive. That network that we have across the state that are striving to do better for North Dakota, to me is the success. I can't pick just one of their projects. That's unfair. They're all super. I think they're all
great.
unique and
Right.
interesting in their own ways, right?
Right.
And so when I'm talking with just one of them, like of course when I'm talking to that one particular person, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the best project. You're doing amazing things. But then I'll say the same thing to the next person. So
Well, why don't
I
we?
think that's unfair.
Why don't we word it a little differently?
Okay.
What would you say would be your favorite thing about the program, and what's that feeling to you of being a part of it?
My favorite thing, I'm gonna answer that in two ways. My favorite thing personally is that I get to literally watch leaders around North Dakota become stronger in leadership, and that to me is so rewarding to see how they're all making an impact in their own ways across the state. I 100% think that's my favorite part. However, I get the pleasure of following these classes along on their journeys and helping them explore and find different opportunities. And my favorite part is going into these communities, some of which RLND has never been. And we are like, hey, we want to come and we want to do some tours. So we toured Baker Boy in Dickinson, which was an amazing tour. And when they spoke with us and talked about their values, their organizational values, and what they're trying to do in their community, it just was so inspirational. And I think at the end of every seminar, when we're in the midst of our reflection, someone's like, who knew that North Dakota had this many opportunities, right? That we're doing this as a state. And in the agricultural, in the community and economic development world, all of these things are just amazing. We have an amazing state, and I get to go around and celebrate that. And as our participants go around, it's always a good reminder. And when we went to DC and sat down with our representatives and started talking about what are some of the challenges we see in rural America, we had just as many success stories to talk about, and some of those successes that I think other states are struggling with. Rural broadband. When we went to Minneapolis, they all wanted to talk to us about that. And we're like, that's not necessarily the biggest challenge in North Dakota because we have invested in that infrastructure. And it's so fun to get to be with people who understand and celebrate those successes of our state.
That is super cool. And that kind of leads to a follow-up question. We got to hit bottom of the hour here, so we'll just tease it for when we come back after this break. But you had mentioned that maybe this isn't necessarily the most challenging thing to rural North Dakota with the internet. What might be something that's more challenging or needs a little more focus on across the state that could maybe get talked about a little bit? So we'll get that answered. Also, phone lines are open. If you want to call in, get a part or be a part of this conversation, ask a question, call the Red Wing Shoes studio phone line for Weather and Ag in Focus. That's 701-293-9000. You can also reach us via email at weatherorag@flagfamily.com. We're speaking with Catherine Tyler of Rural Leadership North Dakota. We'll continue this conversation when we come back.
We're talking with Adam at Cheyenne Gardens in Harwood. Flowers are a great gift for mom, Adam. What are some of the ways that people can buy flowers for mom?
So there's a couple different ways to do it. One, lots of customers come up in the spring for Mother's Day and they'll pick up a nice pot, something with some size to it to hold soil. It's easier to take care of. and they take a nice pot and they pick out the flowers. When you pick out the flowers, you want to make sure you have a thriller, a filler, and a spiller. To get the pot taken care of, and anyone at the garden center can help you with that. The other thing is lots of people bring mom up, and they go shopping with mom. Take a day, an afternoon, a couple hours, and bring mom to the garden center, and you can wander around and make an event out of it, and still pick up the stuff to do the flowers. You just bring mom with. The other thing is when you're taking flowers in on about Mother's Day time, you want to make sure if you're going to bring them in, you got to watch that night temperature if you might have to bring them in and out of the garage. So out during the day, in at night.
Very good. Thank you, Adam. Cheyenne Gardens. It's a great place to wander, admire, and explore the largest variety of trees, shrubs, and bedding plants in the area. It's just 10 minutes from Fargo up I-29 in Harwood. Put Cheyenne Gardens on the top of your list as the best place to visit for your gardening, shrubbery, and tree questions this year. Cheyenne Gardens, just off I-29 north of Fargo in Harwood.
Hi, everyone. Steve Carney here with Carney Outdoors. You know, as a veteran myself, it's time to honor a deserving veteran with something really nice. So listen to this.
If you're a veteran, you could win a free day of fishing the Memorial Day weekend with renowned fishing expert Steve Carney, plus a new rod and reel. Register between now and May 18th at carneyoutdoors@gmail.com. The winner will be picked May 19th live on Bonnie and Friends. Tell us your veteran story and get registered to win. Sponsored by Plains Grain and Agronomy, Vivig Oil and Propane, and Foston Tri-Co-op.
Get ready to reel in the big one at Shields Fish Fest May 5th and 6th. This year's Fish Fest will have your favorite brands, daily giveaways, early season savings, and unadvertised hourly and daily specials. Plus new inventory from a Fish Fest First Adventure RV. Register to win over $2,500 in prizes and gift cards. For more info, visit shields.com/Fargo events. You won't want to miss this one. It's Fish Fest, Friday, May 5th from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Saturday, May 6th from 9 to 5 in the parking lot at Shields on 45th Street.
It's easy to think all money managers are pretty much the same, but at Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Different? How? You sell high-commission investment products, right?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission-based investment products.
Well, you must earn commissions on trades.
Nope, never at Fisher. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our client's best interest. It's the highest standard of care for a financial advisor.
How do you know what's in their best interest?
We get to know our clients and then tailor a portfolio based on their goals and needs.
But you probably sneak in some hidden and layered fees.
No, we have one transparent management fee, structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, you really do look out for your clients.
That's because our top priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. It might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments and securities involve the risk of loss.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2023 Bank of America, N.A.
Let the Goose River Bank become your community bank. They believe a strong bank builds strong communities and would be proud to be your bank.
And welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. Thanks for rejoining us. It's 1:35, temperature 71 degrees outside. Man, it is beautiful out there. We're speaking with Catherine Tyler of Rural Leadership North Dakota. If you want to join on the conversation, got full phone lines right now. 701-293-9000 will get you in line. We'll get you your calls in just a moment. Now, Catherine, before we went to break there, we were kind of teasing on our last question that we were talking about, and you had made mention that maybe rural broadband internet across the whole state is not the most challenging or most difficult thing for the state because we're investing in that direction. We're working our way towards that final goal. What would be something in your mind across the state that's more challenging or more difficult or has a, kind of tops that on the list of things needs to get accomplished or want to be accomplished?
I think that in our seminars from this past year from class 9, two things really have risen to the top. And one being access to rural healthcare, whether that's mental health care or just basic healthcare. That seems to be a strong theme that we continually come back to talk about. What do we need to do to fix some of those challenges within our local communities? And then also workforce development. I think that every place we go tour and when we talk to our own network, it's how are we finding qualified workers to stay in our local communities.
And
I
what
think those are the top two that I would have.
do you think you have an answer or an idea of how to accomplish that? That's been a really big thing, is how do we get people to stay here? How do we get people to move here and then stay working in North Dakota? Do you have any ideas on maybe what could help that endeavor?
Yeah, I mean, I think whoever has that answer is but destined to make a lot of money, right, by training the rest of the world in that. Um, I think what's again fun about RLND is we get to talk to a number of different employers who are trying to solve that. And so, we've heard everything from monetary incentives to housing incentives. I think one thing we consistently hear is when we can get the people here, typically our
Mm-hmm.
communities are welcoming and people want to stay. And so I think that part North Dakota has down pat, which is positive for us. I think the challenge is how do we maybe attract people from a marketing sense to let them know, we don't need to be the best kept secret in the nation. North Dakota is a vibrant, viable place, and RLND shows us that time and time again. So it would be great if we could figure that out, maybe.
Well, I mean, we on Shark Tank, was it Mr. Wonderful? He said,
North Dakota is great for
North
business.
Dakota is open for business. Everybody
Yes.
should invest there. So maybe we can get Mr. Wonderful
Yeah.
for a nice little testimony.
I know there's been a few talks about like the whole income tax and just eliminating it from North Dakota because we're so lush in money from natural oil
Sure.
and gas.
Kinda like-
that would be a really big
just like Nevada
incentive.
does. There's no income tax.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. There's several states like that. I don't know about that lush and money portion, but that's a whole different show, guys. We're gonna have to, yeah. But does beg the question though to Catherine, how is it funded? And so how many people are you looking for in your classes? Kind of what are the criteria for people who want to be a part of the program?
Sure. So it's funded in several ways. Number one, through NDSU Extension. So the Extension Service has funding streams set up from the state, of course, as well as through donations, sponsorships to come through. The NDSU Foundation has a strong account for Rural Leadership North Dakota that helps fund tuition as well as just programming dollars. And then tuition. So participants pay $4,000 for the 18-month program, and that includes the travel within the seminars, as well as most meals and, of course, experiences that are happening within the program. It costs about $16,000 to send a participant through RLND, but the participant's only paying $4,000. So participants pay that in a variety of ways. Their employers may sponsor them. They may pay for it themselves. There's varying ways that happens. Maybe they find other sponsors to help them cover the cost of the tuition and extra travel dollars that they may need. But then within that, once the classes get going, they also do some fundraising within their classes in local seminars. So for example, when we just went to Grand Forks, the Greater Grand Forks Visitors Bureau gave us a sponsorship, which was so great. We're always so grateful, and it's so kind that happens. Our classes, we try to go between about 18. The largest class I think was 30, and that was several years ago when they had 30 folks. But we're looking for about 25 people to join us for our 2-year cohort, and yeah, I think that answers all your questions.
I think it kind of does. And when you look at the size of the classes and the diversity across the state, that's pretty impressive. All the information that people bring and then take back out with them. Do you have, like the top couple of items that participants say, this is the most important thing I got out of being in RLND?
Yeah, I think if you would ask our alumni, I think what they, after the fact, of course, when you reflect on some intensive learning, sometimes you recognize maybe what you learned greater in the end, right? I think they will tell you that the network that they get from our alumni, as well as from the tours that we're doing or meeting with the government officials that we're doing, it's really, we create a really strong network to help create, or to help solve problems. And so I think that's one of the greatest benefits that alumni would say, as well as just their feelings of being able to participate in leadership roles at a greater level. I think they start to recognize maybe where they can fit in to help, which is great.
I got one for you.
That's huge.
It is really huge.
Yeah.
With all the success and accomplishments that have come out of rural leadership in North Dakota over the past years and up to today, where do you see the program 5 or 10 years down the road? And what do you think that will be benefiting and getting out of that for the entire state?
I think that our state we still have a need for leadership, right? There's, I think, 8,000 unfilled volunteer positions in the state. And so how are we finding qualified people who are committed to their local area to help fill the need, whether that is running for the school board, running for the state legislature, or simply helping on their local park board, right? I mean, all of these things are needed, and it's important that we try and get people who are passionate and have the basic skills in order to do these effectively. So I think in 5 to 10 years, our goal is that we're still exposing folks who are interested in bettering themselves to having an opportunity to do so. I think that the benefits, NDSU Extension has lots of different ways and different, short-term to long-term leadership development programming, right? So RLND is maybe the longest and probably the most intense, but I think I think that creating those opportunities for people to kind of continually be lifelong learners is important, and I would hope that RLND continues that. I think also it's the exposing of people to a varying, different different places and different ideas. So continuing to go around the state, region, national, and international experiences that helps us see either where we fit into this increasingly global world, and or how we can take an idea that works somewhere else and put it into our own spin is important. So, I think that for now, I think RLND is led by a council. There's a council that helps of volunteers that help us determine what the curriculum on the program is, and we continue to think about, what are the key needs. What's great about RLND is we allow for flexibility within the classes, and so, for example, I mentioned earlier that rural healthcare started coming up quite a bit in our conversations with Class 9, and so when we went to DC, it gave us the opportunity to meet with the National Rural Health Association to talk about what they're doing in terms of lobbying at the federal level, as well as working with local places to help mitigate some of the issues. And so I think that we're going to need to increasingly do that, stay flexible to allow for what's happening, because our world is sometimes moving faster than perhaps it did in the past with technology and innovation. So that's my goal for it.
Boy, isn't that true? Things moving at a very fast pace.
Yeah.
Which, and part of that fast pace, Catherine, when are applications due? What should people be doing to go find them, and how can we encourage more to participate?
Yeah, so the applications are open through May 15th. So you have about 10 more days to apply, and we'd love to see everyone's application. The applications are online. If you go to ndsu.ag/apply RLND, you'll find the link to the online application. If you need a paper application, reach out. We can definitely get that for you. Once the applications come in, we then interview everyone for RL&D, make sure that if they have any questions, they get to meet with a council member and or an alumni to, kind of ask those questions about what this program is and the commitment, because it obviously is a fairly large time commitment for our participants. And then we start next November. So next November will be the start of Class 10, and they'll then conclude in November, 2 years in 2025. So it'll go faster than it feels. But right now, if you're interested in applying or have questions, please reach out. We'd love to answer any questions you have.
I'll be honest, considering we interview people all the time, I feel like we'd be a major fail at being interviewed by somebody else. We certainly cannot go together because the three of us probably not going to turn out well.
It's like the Three Stooges in here some days. You kidding?
I think you guys would provide lots of fun. You all should consider applying. You'd all be great. You'd be great assets to RL&D. You probably all can't be gone at the same time though, right? So that might create a little bit of an issue if you're all in the class and have to.
Right.
Well, we'd have to work around that. I'm gonna fill out the guys' applications for them. I'm sure I'll do a
Katie said
job.
we'd be great assets, right?
Yeah.
For the program. Okay, that's what I thought. I just wanted to double check. Just wanted to double check I heard it right.
You still got potential, DBC.
I'm always reaching.
I don't know that we've had radio personalities in any of the classes, so we'd be
the first.
Brand new.
Yeah.
You'd
And
be
probably
the
the
first,
last.
and we'd love to have first. No, never the
Maybe
last.
for a good reason. We haven't been included yet. So we'll see.
Oh, well, Catherine, thank you very much for joining us here on Weather and Ag in Focus, and we hope that everything continues to be awesome and working in the right direction over there with Rural Leadership North Dakota.
Thank you so much for having me.
No problem. We're going to check in with the American Ag Network when we come back. We'll take a look at a few more ag topics, the weather, and hey, I still need a good dishwasher brand, people. Help me out.
Wash them by hand.
Janae from the Coffee Club here to let you know the Hot Works Fitness Center is opening soon in Moorhead on Highway 10 East. A unique style of infrared fitness, great for not only weight loss, but improved circulation, muscle recovery, reducing inflammation, stress reduction, and detoxification. If you become a VIP member right now, it's only $10 to enroll and $44 a month. So save $15 a month and become a founding member of the Hot Works Fitness Center in Moorhead. Find Hot Works Moorhead on Facebook.
Boston Tri-Co-op is hiring an agronomy manager. Must have sales and agronomy experience, able to sell crop protection, fertilizer, and chemicals. College degree in agronomy or equal experience is preferred. Enjoy competitive salary and benefits, including health, long-term disability, dental, life insurance, HAS, paid vacation, and retirement match and profit sharing. Email resume to jen.howard@bostoncoop.com or call 218-435-6919 and ask for Brent. Boston Tri-Co-op, hiring an agronomy manager, and it could be you.
Were your golf clubs new during the Clinton administration? It's time, my friend. Hi, this is Dave Osted from Osted's Golf. Trade in your old clubs for a 50% trade-in bonus on new 2023 clubs. Get fit by one of the nation's top 100 fitters. Play the best new clubs, custom fit to your swing. Get a 50% bonus on your old clubs and make this your best season ever. Hurry, offer ends May 14th. See Osteds.com to make your fitting appointment. Mixed action in the grain trade. You're listening to the American Ag Network. Of Jesse Allen with this market update. Joining us now, Mark Lucas of StoneX, in for Arlen Suderman here today with market analysis. Mark, as we take a look at this market trade, we see wheat a little higher with the Russia-Ukraine situation. Still watching those headlines. Quart of beans a little bit lower. Crude's been under pressure this week. Really, it feels like the outside market influences and news headlines have really been driving this ag trade here this week.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. You know, you look at yesterday's Fed meeting, it came out as they expected, 25 basis point bump in rates. You know, and you start looking at it, I mean, it's pretty historic. It's levels we haven't seen in the 5 to 5.25 benchmark rate since fall of 2007. You know, that's 500 basis points in just a little over a year that the Fed has raised rates. And the commentary was the main thing people looked at. Powell basically said that, you know, this is going to be a long process. And when he was asked about the way the market is currently pricing in some cuts by fall, he seemed to get a little bit shaken and then basically said, they don't believe that's in their forecast. I think that's hitting the stock market here this morning. Overnight, various stories involving crude oil, some of it dealing with Russia, that Russia is supposedly dramatically overproducing their quota and flooding the market with oil to help support their war efforts and that kind of thing. In Asia overnight, we saw as much as a 7% drop in crude oil prices. We took crude oil all the way down to 63 and change before it popped up, and now it's back up $5 higher than that. So big washout on I guess you call it a mini flash crash in Asia overnight. And I think all of that's just kind of got planting progress going on with corn and beans in fairly good shape. So that's kind of knocking down the corn and beans a little bit.
Once again, that's Mark Lucas of StoneX on the American Ag Network. I'm Jesse Allen.
Welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. Thanks for joining us. 151 on this mostly sunny afternoon. Temperatures are at 71 degrees outside. It's another back-to-back beautiful afternoon out there. Wind not quite as breezy as it was yesterday. Northwest at 12 miles per hour. You guys got any fun activities?
I've got a... you want to give something away real quick?
Do we want to give something away? I suppose we could.
Okay, I've got a WDAY hat, and we'll throw in a keychain there too. We've got mare's tails outside today. What are mare's tails? 701-293-9000. We've got some mare's tails outside today.
It's just. What was the question again?
We have mare's tails outside today. What are mare's tails? If you know the answer, I'll give you a weather keychain and a hat. 701-293-9000.
So you get 2 hats and 2 keychains.
Bridget knows it.
Okay. Are we talking about something in the spectrum of weeds? Because I know that one.
Are we talking about horses?
No, we're talking about... If you look outside, that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to throw you any more hints. If you look outside, not from that camera angle, guys. No, not from that one. There's some mare's tails outside today. What are mare's tails? 701-293-9000.
Man, you come up with some very weird word. I don't even think I know what a
You've never heard of that? Really?
Maybe not that way of saying it.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I probably have heard of what you're describing, but never mare's hairs.
Tails.
Mare's
tails.
Mare's tails.
So it's not the weed found in soybeans is what you're telling me.
And it's not that little long hairy thing off the back of a horse.
Oh, I like that, though.
Female horse,
I like that, though.
See what we got here. Hey there, welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus. What's your name and guess?
Chad, is it mare's tails? Are they the clouds?
They are a form of clouds, like those high, wispy clouds. That's correct.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. What's your name again? I'm sorry.
Chad.
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 Congrats, Chad.
okay.
If you can hang on, our producer, Jacob, will get your information. We'll get you a keychain and a hat with that. Good job. Did you Google it or did you know it?
No, I kind of figured that's what you were talking about.
Awesome. Good deal. Hey, thanks for listening, Chad. We appreciate it.
Thanks for calling in. I knew what those were then. I did know, but I've never heard them called mare's tails.
You don't often hear them called that, but I was looking up in the sky and I'm like, oh, today's a perfect day. Those are mare's tails up there.
You want to know how I know you're old?
Because they don't teach that to you in school now. That's why.
Because you saw his driver's license.
Yeah, hey, let me see your driver's license.
So good job,
That's
Chad.
a good little trivia question.
He didn't have to Google it either.
No,
That's even better.
It's a good little trivia question you had.
Yeah,
there.
so just some high wispy clouds out there today. Enjoy it. Get out and enjoy it. We've been stuck inside for how long? Oh, here's another question, and maybe somebody can help me out on this. Since the wind's been blowing out of the north, here in Fargo, there is and I don't know if this is coming from the landfill up north, but there is an awful stench. Like, I almost can't even open my windows at home because it's like a sulfur kind of. It's almost like a sulfur smell. Is that how you would describe it?
I smell it right when I start getting in on the north end of town too.
Bridget?
Is it the lagoons?
It might be the
Is the
lagoons.
ice coming off the sewer ponds?
You think that might be it?
And it's all a bunch of rotting matter.
Yes.
I mean,
at
it's
this
nasty.
Time of the year, when the ice comes off and that opens up and that water turns over, you can get that smell coming off lagoons.
Okay, because I don't remember smelling this last year or the year before.
No, I didn't smell it last year.
Yeah.
Or the year before.
So I don't know
Maybe
if
the wind blew more that day.
This is true.
Yeah.
It's been blown a lot.
Yeah. So, okay.
If anyone else has an
I would
idea,
like-
701-293-9000.
I would like to give a shout out not only to those who are calling on our Red Wing Shoe hotline today because of all the things that are going on. I have a little mini audience right outside my pickup today as I am parked safely over at the side of the road. There are 2 turkeys. Not
They're
YouTube,
turkeys?
but actual turkeys.
Are they jive
that are
turkeys
standing
or just
around.
regular turkeys?
You 2 are the jive turkeys. These 2 are just regular
Okay.
turkeys that are hanging around. And I did put a picture up on our website, on our Facebook page for Weather and Ag in Focus.
I thought they were
And
sky
also,
carp.
let's not quite. Those would be Canada geese. And also for our sponsors for our Here We Grow project, Irie Insurance. We're going to have Bethany from Irie joining us next week to talk about things that Irie Insurance can do for our project, and then also the Steffes Group. Maybe when we get big enough to buy equipment, they can help us with land and equipment auctions, but I don't know that we're quite there yet.
That's what we got Titan for. Is I guess we're not buying it, but they're just giving us their tractors. I drove by there. I saw this nice quad track, although it's red. They said they would give it to us, and I am very excited about it.
I think that's fantastic. Way to schmooze them into that deal. I bet Titan doesn't even know about it yet.
I don't either.
It's in the fine print on page 187. Just wait till they read it.
Excellent. Well, to Titan, to Steffes, and to Irie, thanks for all your help. And for those watching on the live stream, or if you want to go back and catch it later, there's the picture of my 2 turkey audience right outside my pickup window. They're just hanging around, wondering what I'm doing over here.
It's like, get off my yard. What's this lady doing
They
in
must
my
be
grass?
They must be what interfered with my signal earlier when all of a sudden it froze up.
Well,
Those
they
2
are
on their iPads.
They are birds, so technically they are government drones.
Good Lord.
You ever notice that though?
gonna
All the
kill you
birds
two when I get to the office.
All the birds disappear when the government shuts down, and as soon as they come back, what do you know? The birds are out again.
Well, and when they need recharging, they sit on the power lines to recharge the drones before
They roost overnight on the
before
power
they take
lines
off
when they're low.
You're absolutely right. Absolutely right.
No. No,
Yes.
you're not.
Yes, we are. I won't fight you on many things, Bridget, but I will fight you on this one.
Fine. We'll leg wrestle it out when I get to the office next week. So there.
I know who's winning, and it's not Justin.
Not chicken legs over here.
No. We got time for
Also,
about one
there'll be
other
no
ag
video.
topic.
Yeah, we do. Let's see. What do we want to go with? This,
Okay.
Bridget, do you want to pick or do you want me to pick?
You pick.
All right, tell me what well, that's from last week. I'm not going to do that. We only have a little bit of time. So let's do with post-flooding challenges with clear water and feed for livestock.
Okay, keep in mind, we didn't really have a lot of flooding, but there are areas that did get very wet and muddy. And so some of those feedstocks can be, like your silage piles, et cetera, can see some mold on them and just have degraded where they're not quality feed anymore. Farmers are making sure that they're not feeding that to their animals. They're setting those piles aside because that's a real life thing. You don't feed bad food to your kids. You wouldn't do it to your livestock as well. And then also with some of the runoff water, we want to make sure that the animals have clean water available to them. We're going to be fixing any pipes that may have ruptured, but above all, just making sure that they get as quality feed and water as you or I would want. That's just a reminder from North Dakota State Extension Service right now.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that, Bridget. And that's going to wrap it up for Weather and Ag in Focus today. We thank you for calling in, listening, joining our conversations. And remember, if you want to watch our Here We Grow campaign, we have 2 episodes out. Third one launches on Friday. YouTube, Weather and Ag in Focus. It's also where we live stream every single day, as well as Facebook Live and Acres TV. The Jay Thomas Show is coming up next. He's got a couple of fun topics, and one of them being ag-related. We'll be listening to that for sure and maybe chime in a little bit later on. Have a great day, everyone.
AM 970 and FM.